Hey guys, how you doing tonight? As always, we're going to jam on some music and then we're going to get on to some sober talk or addiction talk. Well, tonight, guys, uh, we're going to go over some things as always. Part of my show or my episodes, whatever you want to call it, videos, I call it my show. I don't care. Uh, Still jamming. Is I'm wanting to maybe the term is start a movement. Uh, I'm really wanting to establish a foothold or have the mass. I wish I'd went over this a little bit better. But one of the main focuses of me doing the video, besides my sobriety and my accountability, is one, addicts helping addicts. If we don't turn around and help our brothers and sisters, man, we're gonna just our numbers gonna keep going down. I mean, just because you're an addict don't mean you don't deserve to enjoy life. It doesn't mean that you're less human, less of a citizen, less of a person. Man, there's just a huge stigma about addicts, and it goes back to even like the ancient Greek days, to 5,000 years ago, to 100 BC, or excuse me, AD. Uh, let me get some of my notes from a previous show, and I'll tell you. The reason I said it goes back to there, because opium was used for 5,000 years. For centuries, they've used it, a variety of spirits and herbs to relieve different maladies. And it was acceptable, except when you turned into an addict. It's okay if you do it, but it's not okay if you feel you have to do it. Now, there's a fine line there. The fine line is it's okay as long as you keep your addiction hid. Now, that's my words, that's my point of view. Quote me on that, whatever. But addiction is okay as long as you keep it hidden. This is what I have learned in my researching, guys. I do my homework. Let me tell you, I don't do hours and hours of it, but I do put time into this video, getting facts, talking to people. I do that because it's just something I feel. I mean, it's part of me being sober now. I have to do something proactive for myself and for other people. I want this sobriety for everybody. But I want the stigma lifted. I want the taboo lifted. There's a lot of addicts and recovering addicts that are against Christianity because Christians have turned their nose up at them. And I can't comment on that personally, but I know there's Christians that see me in public and know of my drug use, and I know bad thoughts going through their head. I know. Now, there's some that don't, there's some that are, and it really don't slow me down none. I'm sober now and I can do what I want. They see my black fingernails and they see me just being me, and like, I just got to be sober. I got to be sober and be a law-abiding citizen. I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. I can be me. And that feels really good now to say. And I'm so glad to be sober so I can do that. There's nothing that holds me back anymore. And sobriety gave that to me, gave me that freedom. And that's straight up truth from me to you. But I'm wanting to start. Also, one of the things I wanted to get out there was the link between childhood trauma and addiction. That the war on drugs was fought on the wrong end, supply and demand. They took care of the supply. They thought if we get rid of the supply, there will not be a demand. Wrong. They just increased the economy. It's like the situation with the coronavirus. Less toilet paper, people paying more for it. It's that simple. My point of view, one of my objects that I want to happen is the focus be on the demand. The demand to escape reality. The demand is poor coping skills, PTSD, childhood trauma, mental illness in general. I want this out there. I want it to the masses. And I'm doing my best I can. I mean, I could push my videos harder, but I'm learning myself, learning my role right now. But, guys, okay, I talked to a mental health professional today. Now, let me read off. Now, this is a person I went to school with that knew me in my childhood, that's known me throughout my life and throughout my addiction. And she really is a positive influence on my life. I'm not going to go as far as say my support system. Support up with a big S. But she is, let me think of the correct term, a mental health professional. By mental health professional, I'll read you her credentials. I'm not giving their name out. It'd been nice if I could have got this in order. But, you know, what's the fun? We do this on the fly. We do it live. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's in clinical psychology. She's independently licensed, meaning she can do everything a doctorate level psychologist can do except supervise other psychologists. She's put her time into her job, and I really believe she knows what she's talking about. And I talked to her a little bit today, and I kind of asked her a few questions about, okay, we'll do it the right way. I asked her if she thought there was a connection with childhood trauma and substance abuse along with mental health issues later on in life. She said yes, there's research behind childhood trauma and substance abuse later in life, and we went over that. And I want to throw this point she added to it, and it's a good one. Let me kill the music a little bit more. She also thinks there's a difference between She also thinks there's a difference between simple and complex trauma. Making that distinction in diagnosis is being researched in the next DSM. I have no idea what a DSM is, but I'm sure it's some publication that psychologists go by, kind of like new information about topics they cover. There's a difference between someone experiencing a single traumatic event versus experiencing repeated trauma. So someone who is in a healthy family but experiencing a car accident or a simple incident of abuse is thought to recover faster than someone being repeatedly abused or traumatized and in an abusive family or environment. I really am glad that she threw that out there. When I started doing my research, that's what I come across. Now we're going to read from the website chronicleofsocialchange.org. It's about childhood trauma, when childhood trauma slips into addiction. The road between substance abuse and trauma is a two-way path. The trauma increases the risk of developing substance abuse. And substance abuse increases the likelihood of being re-traumatized by engaging in high-risk behavior. Studies of people with drug addiction repeatedly find extraordinarily, now let me throw it out there again. Studies of people with drug addiction repeatedly find extraordinarily high percentages of childhood trauma. The adverse childhood experiences, commonly referred to in the medical field or the psychology field, ACEs, offers compelling evidence. For each noted adversity, the risk of early initiation of substance abuse increases 2 to 4 times. So that means when the child that's been through trauma gets into an adverse situation, their chances of becoming an addict or abusing substances increases 2 to 4 times. Subjects with 5 or more ACEs, now that's adverse childhood experiences or traumatic events, are 7 to 10 times more likely to become substance abusers. And here's a good one, and I fall under this category. Nearly 2/3 of IV drug users report abusive and traumatic childhood events. Individuals with 3 or more traumatic childhood experiences have higher rates, not just of alcohol or drug abuse, but also depression, domestic violence, sexually transmitted diseases, and heart disease, according to an ACEs study. We're going to keep throwing some numbers and facts out there, guys. 75% of women and men in substance abuse treatment report histories of abuse and trauma. That's 75%. I mean, that's a lot. 95% of the homeless women with mental illness report severe physical or sexual abuse. 12 to 34% of individuals in substance abuse treatments have PTSD. About 1/3 of the people exposed to trauma develop PTSD. Men report higher incidences of trauma, but women are more likely to develop PTSD. These are straight facts from the Chronicles of Socialchange.org. Guys, I'm throwing these facts out here so you know, so you're informed, you're woke. Guys, I wish you could understand the feeling of urgency and importance I feel to get the mental health aspects out there and the childhood trauma, especially the childhood trauma. These kids growing up need better coping skills. There is so much. When I left home, there's so much of this world I didn't know. And in all honesty, until I was 25, I wouldn't consider myself an adult, because you don't learn certain life skills till you got to go through them. You don't know things until you go through these situations. I mean, like, look at me now. I'm over 40 and I have the worst coping skills ever. I'm on medicine for anxiety. I'm on medicine to help me sleep. Insomniac. I can't turn my mind off. I worry too much. I get easily aggravated. I have a pretty quick temper, but that's okay. I'm learning to deal with it. I'm developing better skills. I'm passing this information on to you guys. What you do with it is all up to you. We're under 15 minutes, right under. Guys, I love you, man. I just want you to remember one thing. Happiness is free and unlimited, but you just gotta make your own. And I'm getting that trademark. I've already started the paperwork on it. Yeah, I know. It's a little vain, but it's a good saying. I want it out there. I want it to be me. If I'm known for anything in this world, I want that out there. And I want that I only learned that when I went through the worst part of my life. Happiness is free and unlimited. You just gotta make your own. Guys, I'm Wilder. I'm out. I love you guys. If you need me, hit me up. Bye, guys.